Hey everybody, in this video, let's talk some Spider-Man. So just the other day, Disney dropped a really cool video of this Spider-Man Stuntronic animatronic that will be coming to Disney California Adventure at the Avengers campus. And, you know, for those of you that have been following, Disney parks or theme parks, this probably is not a surprise to you. About a year or so ago, a lot of mainstream news outlets were reporting that Disney was working on this kind of technology, right? And even more recently in November on Disney Plus, with that great series, The Imagineering Story, they even gave a little bit of time and showcased this technology of these Stuntronic robots somersaulting into air, doing very superhero kind of poses. Everyone speculated. It's been like a year now, and even more so after the Imagineering Story, but everyone was speculating this has to be for Marvel Land, and Disney confirmed it the other day. Yeah, they're going to use one of these robots for Spider-Man. And I think it is so cool. This is really, really cool. I think it's great for California Adventure. It's going to kind of give California Adventure something unique, right? Because Disneyland is such a hard park to follow. It's such big shoes to fill, and being next door to that is really hard for, I think, California Adventure. So having these little things that kind of set it apart and make it worth going to, make it unique, I think is very important. And this Spider-Man animatronic is one of those things that will draw more people to that side of the resort, and I think that's great. So in that regard, I think it's very, very important. Now, I'm very curious. I have a lot of questions in regards to the animatronic itself, though. How are they going to do this? How are they going to have this animatronic somersaulting and flying over guests and flying over buildings and have that be safe, right? And I understand. Like, look, I trust Disney. I know they wouldn't implement something like this without guest safety, first and foremost. And I totally understand that. And I'm not even questioning that. I'm just, from my own standpoint, my own curiosity, wondering how they're going to do this and have it be like something that can work on a regular basis and not put any of the buildings or people at risk, right? So is this thing going to be tethered to the crane above the Spider-Man building by what looks like a web? Is it going to be tethered to that so it can't fall or whatever? I don't know. And that's the thing that really boggles my mind. And that's what I'm the most curious about, is how this is going to play out. Because the video they showed us doesn't really give us any indication. It shows the thing, somersaulting in the air, which is great, but we've seen that so many times with the Imagineering Story doc and with other footage even before that. But how is this going to be implemented day in and day out and not be a risk to the buildings below or the people below? That is the question. And I am so curious as to how they're going to pull this off day in and day out like that. It's really interesting to me. But again, I couldn't be happier about it. I think it's exactly what California Adventure needs. It needs these unique elements to draw people into that park. Disneyland is the king of all theme parks, okay? Let's be real. Disneyland is the king of all theme parks. It has Galaxy's Edge, New Orleans Square. It has it has the Indiana Jones Adventure. It's packed with so much good stuff, right? It's really hard for a park that sits in the shadow of Disneyland to even compete, right? So this kind of thing, these kind of unique elements like the flying Spider-Man animatronic, give people a reason to visit California Adventure. This is something that even Disneyland does not have. So I think that's pretty cool, and I think it's going to be a great asset to DCA. I think it's going to be a great addition to that park. It's much needed. It'll probably even be more impressive than the actual Spider-Man attraction, and that's just kind of my guess. But I'm just calling it from what I see. But the animatronic is probably going to be more impressive than the actual attraction. But we'll see. I hope I'm wrong on that. But what do you guys think about this? What do you think about the Spider-Man Stuntronic? Do you think it's awesome? I mean, I don't know. I love it, or do you not? I mean, do you think it's kind of whatever? Do you also share not really so much concern, but more or less curiosity on how they're going to pull that off? How are they going to get this thing to somersault over buildings and guests and do it in a way that's consistent and safe for everyone below? Are you curious about that? Because I am. I'm very curious. What are your thoughts? Comment below. Thank you all so much, and have a marvelous day.